Hello, Madison, Malia, Rocky and Luke. Welcome to another Stories with Grandpa. This is from When We Were Very Young by A. Milne. This first poem is called The Wrong House. I went into a house, and it wasn't a house. It has big steps and a great big hall, but it hasn't got a garden. It isn't like a house at all. I went into a house, and it wasn't a house. It has a big garden and a great high wall, but it hasn't got a may tree. It isn't like a house at all. I went into a house, and it wasn't a house. Slow white petals from the may tree fall, but it hasn't got a blackbird. It isn't like a house at all. I went into a house, and I thought it was a house. I could hear from the may tree the blackbird call. But nobody listened to it. Nobody liked it. Nobody wanted it at all. Summer afternoon. 6 brown cows walked down to drink. All the little fishes blew bubbles at the mayfly. Splash goes the first as he comes to the brink. Swish go the tails of the 5 who follow. 12 brown cows been drinking there. All the little fishes went waggle-tail, waggle-tail. 6 from the water and 6 from the air. Up and down the river darts a blue-black swallow. The Dormouse and the Doctor. There once was a dormouse who lived in a bed of delphiniums blue and geraniums red. And all the day long he'd a wonderful view of geraniums red and delphiniums blue. A doctor came hurrying round and he said, "Tut, tut, I am sorry to find you in bed. Just say 99 while I look at your chest. Don't you find that chrysanthemums answer the best?" The Dormouse looked round at the view and replied, "Well," he said, 99. That he tried and he tried. And the most answering things that he knew were geraniums red and delphiniums blue. The doctor stood frowning and shaking his head, and he took up his shiny silk hat as he said, "What the patient requires is a change," he went, "to see some chrysanthemum people in Kent." The Dormouse lay there, and he gazed at the view of geraniums red and delphiniums blue. And he knew that there was nothing he wanted instead of delphiniums blue and geraniums red. The doctor came back, and to show what he meant, he had brought some chrysanthemum cuttings from Kent. "Now these," he remarked, "give a much better view than geraniums red and delphiniums blue." They took out their spades and they dug up the bed of delphiniums blue and geraniums red, and they planted chrysanthemums yellow and white. "And now," said the doctor, "we'll soon have you right." The Dormouse looked out, and he said with a sigh, "I suppose all these people know better than I. It was silly perhaps, but I did like the view of geraniums red and delphiniums blue." The doctor came round and examined his chest and ordered him nourishment, tonics and rest. "How very effective," he said as he shook the thermometer, "all these chrysanthemums look." The Dormouse turned over to shut out the sight of the endless chrysanthemums yellow and white. How lovely he thought to be back in a bed of delphiniums blue and geraniums red. The doctor said, "Tut, it's another attack," and ordered him milk and massage of the back, and freedom from worry and drives in the car, and murmured, "How sweet your chrysanthemums are." The Dormouse lay there with his paws to his eyes and imagined himself such a pleasant surprise. I'll pretend the chrysanthemums turned to a bed of delphiniums blue and geraniums red. The doctor next morning was rubbing his hands and saying, "There's nobody quite understands these cases as I do. The cure has begun. How fresh the chrysanthemums look in the sun." The Dormouse lay happy. His eyes were so tight he could see no chrysanthemums yellow or white, and all that he felt at the back of his head